A couple weeks ago, Insta360 reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try out the Insta360 Go 2, which I was a little skeptical on being a longtime GoPro user, but I took the opportunity on. The thing that I was most excited about was that they didn't really want a review. They just told me to do whatever I want with it. I can review it, I could just film a video with it and post a video. So I opted to do the second one with some of my thoughts on the camera towards the end of the video. Ever since moving to Colorado Springs, I've had this plan to do a ride to run and then ride back home. Where would I be riding to exactly? The Manitou Incline in Manitou Springs. If you don't know about the Incline, I've linked Salomon's great video on it in the description. The Incline is about 9 miles from home for me, so it's a great ride out and back mixed with a huge incline and a nice trail run down. So there was a reservation I was supposed to make, but the guy who was taking the reservations just let me go because I didn't know. I thought I was gonna have to ride back home. When I first got there, I wanted to try to go at a decent pace. Well, reality hit, and the grade of the incline quickly slowed me down to a jog, and shortly after, a walk. This thing is no joke. After getting to the top of the incline, you get the option to go down Bar Trail, which is a nice 3.5 mile descent back to the bike. Once at the bike, I laced up my gyros, packed my ultras, and made my way home. How's it? All right, now that you saw the video that was all shot on the Insta360 Go 2, let me share some of my opinions on it, both pros and cons, because unfortunately there is some cons with this camera. Now on the bright side, it blew my mind in terms of image quality, stabilization, and things you could do with it. So let's start with pros. The pros is the form factor. It's super tiny. You could put it in your mouth if you wanted to and ride with it. I took two main accessories. One was the hat clip, which I actually put on my cycling cap for the first shot of the video. And the second accessory, which is the one I used the most, was this, the Insta360 selfie stick. The reason I used it is because it has a tripod. And of course you can extend it all you want, but the tripod is super easy to deploy. Leave the camera there, and then you're recording some of your footage, what you're doing, especially like ride-bys or run-bys in this video in particular. The second thing I like about the Insta360 Go 2 is the stabilization and the horizon lock. Now both of those are very important when working together. You could use something like the Insta360 selfie stick, extend it all the way. I'll show you what I did without extending it so you can see it in frame. But I would actually start the shot up here, and because there is horizon lock, you can shoot this camera in whatever way you want and it'll give you a leveled image. So what you can do is get really dynamic shots starting from up here, swing around, then come up here, and the whole thing looks like it's on a crane. It's insane. Something you definitely can't do with the GoPro unless you have the GoPro 9 with the lens mod and all that. Third and last thing I really enjoyed about this camera was the ability to shoot in Pro mode. And Pro mode basically uses the whole sensor and the whole lens, and it shoots, and then you can pick your aspect ratio in post. So in the app, the Insta360 app, you can pick if you want 16:9, or say you wanted to post that same footage into an Instagram story or something like that, you can pick 9:16, so you don't have to take two shots of the same thing. This is something I've always wanted to see in a camera, and they're doing it beautifully. Some of the footage you guys saw on this video, I went into the app, reframed it 9:16, and that same exact footage I used on an Instagram story. I don't post a lot on Instagram stories or Instagram in general, but this thing might change that. Okay, let's get into some of the cons of this camera. The first con would have to be battery life. When the Insta360 is in the case, it has plenty of battery. When you take it out and mount it to any one of multiple mounts, it quickly loses battery. So it's not optimal for shooting a long bike ride and just keeping it in a mount. In fact, what I had to do was put it on the mount, and then whenever I wasn't filming, I would take it out, put it back in the case, and put the case in my pocket. When I was ready to take another shot, I would pull it out of my pocket and then put it on a mount, get the shot. Now I didn't have to do this every time. Sometimes when I knew I was going to take multiple shots, I would just leave it out. But I was kind of conscious of making sure that I was putting it back in the case every once in a while to make sure the battery stayed charged up. The next downside of the Insta360 Go 2 would be the storage. It comes with 32 gigabytes of storage. 28 of those gigabytes are usable, which for the video I recorded and just showed you guys, I used around 23 gigabytes. I had 5 gigabytes left on the Insta360 Go 2, which on a longer day, filming all day, you might not have enough storage, so you'll have to dump the footage through the app onto your phone. Now this process sounds simple, but it can quickly take up a lot of time. So who is this camera for? I think it is for the person that wants better video footage versus their phone to post on Instagram or other social media platforms. With the memory limit and the battery shortage, it's meant, I think, for more quick bursts of film rather than recording all day. That being said, if you are looking for a camera to do that, this is the one to go with. If you do end up wanting to purchase one of these, make sure to use the affiliate link below. It is no extra cost to you, but I get a little kickback, so you're supporting the channel by getting one of these through that link. I'm excited to keep using this, and follow along on Instagram to see little teasers of the video. Like I said, this video that you guys just saw. I posted a little clip of it earlier this week on my Instagram stories because it's so easy. Thanks Insta360 for sending this camera out. Excited to keep using it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, remember to stay stoked on spokes.